All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we are back for even much more Hearthstone action, and it's now the second best out of five series here. It's gonna be Wensushi versus none other than your Philippine pride, Celedor. My name is Larc. I'll be your main caster today, and with me is none other than Katips. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great and very excited to see one of our country's own, the champion of Cycle 2, Celedor, representing the Philippines.
Yep, for sure. I'm pretty sure that a lot of fans are out there hoping and rooting for the Philippines' dream to come alive. But yeah, I mean, it's gonna be a tough journey for sure because Wensushi, very very strong opponent as well, was, if you do remember, Cycle One was able to face against Korea and force it into a two best out of five series there. So whether or not we'll see how well Celedor will face against Wensushi today, we'll just have to wait and see as the games progress.
I have been told that Wensushi is the miracle rogue, so it's not actually Edwin Van Cleef. It is actually Wensushi, so quite excited to see that in action today.
Yep. When sushi, I think he's gonna be pretty high. I think probably he's gonna be start eating a lot of sushi if he wins after this tournament ends. But we'll just have to wait and see. But anyways, game number one here, this best out of five series. We've got Wensushi versus Celedor. Wensushi gonna be taking the bottom half of the board. Celedor gonna be taking the top half there, and it's going to be Wensushi's Druid versus Celedor's Warrior. Now, not so much has been known about what exactly both these decks are, but yeah, it seems very interesting at the start.
That's right. So here we have now an opening hand with two wild growths for Wensushi. That's going to give him a lot of advantage very early on, so he can start casting those when he has nothing to put down, just to get the advantage into the late game.
Yep. Now it's pretty interesting to see that he decided to keep both of those. So it seems like he wants to ramp himself up a little bit more and get a bit of an advantage. And do you think it's an alright play here to keep those cards, or do you think it's just really risky?
I think it's a good play. I'm assuming this is going to be a control warrior on the part of Celedor. Lots of late game threats, very, very heavy legendaries. So if Wensushi can get the advantage early on by starting to cast the wild growths, getting the advantage in the mid game and the early game, it might give him just the right advantage to put him through into the win.
All right, really good insight over there. Well, for Wensushi, he did, of course, coin out into a wild growth in the previous turn, and right there, Celedor is actually going to respond with a Armor Smith, and Wensushi instantly uses that second wild growth there. So he is effectively 2 mana up against Celedor, who is, by the way, going first. So.
That's right. So the sooner that Sushi can get into his later game combos, the sooner he can get into stuff like a Mark of the Wild Cairn, as we can see in his hand right now. The sooner he can get into Ancient of Lore, putting down that threat, and getting as much of the hand, a big of a hand as he can to try and get his Savage Roar combo for a finisher. I think that's a good series of plays for him right now.
Yep, he's actually going to essentially use his Wrath here for 3 damage onto that Armor Smith and even attack into it. Basically giving Celedor 2 extra armor this turn here. Now he doesn't have much of a minion or a play actually, just looking at his hand. I guess Shield Block is probably the best choice here. Or yeah, so he's going to go ahead and use the Shield Block. He gets carrying Bloodhoof there, so that's also a very, very strong card for him. But Wensushi here, going to throw down the cow. That dreaded cow right there that priests hate so much. Karen Bloodhoof, gonna make an appearance.
That's right. And with 2 mana ahead, he's going to have a lot of nice options going into his turn 7 with Mark of the Wild. He can put down a taunt. He can put down 2 taunts and then force Celedor to react to his plays.
Yep. Now, Celedor here, he's actually going to go ahead and play the Fury Wind Axe, so to speak, and is going to take out the first iteration there of Cairn Bloodhoof, leaving back his brother, Bane Bloodhoof, and I mean, Wensushi here, he has a couple of options. Now, he does have the Sentry as well. It seems like he's going to play that, or is he? Thinking about it, he's going to play it. All right, on top of that Mark of the Wild, onto Bane Bloodhoof there, 6-7. Now, those are 2 huge taunts at the board, and now that Celedor is going to have a pretty hard time trying to, break through.
That's right. So, and as we know, Celedor's only in his turn 6, and he doesn't have much options yet going into his turn 7. But when Sushi will be on turn 8 next round, he will have a lot of options, assuming he can get a draw. He also has that innervate for a late game finisher. So it's pretty exciting right now. It's that 6-7 is going to be the big threat of now. This is going to be the turning point for Celedor with how he deals with that 6-7 Bane Bloodhoof.
Now, exactly how do you think he should deal with this? Even okay, he's just gonna go ahead and throw down his own Carrion Bloodhoof right there. He still has a weapon in hand, not even gonna decide to use that, and an instant dispel from that Keeper of the Grove, a really good way to get rid of that. Deals with that using Bane Bloodhoof, brother killing brother, and right there hits the face, essentially 4 damage right there against Celedor. So Celedor, man, just whatever minion he tries to churn out, it just loses it instantly.
So Wensushi definitely in control right now. As we can see from his hand, he has 2 of the best late game removers. He's definitely going to need those going to the late game against a control warrior.
Hmm. Now, that's the thing though. Do you think like Celedor still has okay, he's actually gonna go ahead and use Brawl, even though he doesn't have a minion on his side. He just wants to leave one, and unfortunately it's the biggest one there. He can get rid of that though, but he's essentially taking 6 damage, and he is actually only down to effectively 21 life.
Oh my goodness! So that's the cows just won't die, just won't turn into steaks and feed everybody. So he got a lot of value from that Karen. So now he's just Wensushi now has to start thinking about. Oh, he decides to play his Black. I was gonna think he was gonna save it for later, but he decides to play it.
I guess you know, when you don't really have much of a minion option, and again, well, generally against a control where they don't have much taunts or like big taunt creatures, if you think about it. So I guess that's kind of his maybe his reasoning behind to just throwing that down. And plus, he really needs to put some you know, a bit more pressure on the board there against Celedor. So unfortunately, the naked Black Knight is gonna make an appearance there. Allure Man, shoutouts to you.
So I think also when Sushi wants to keep up the momentum, he has a nice big health lead right now. He doesn't have the cards. He does have 1 minion on board, but I think he wants to keep the momentum up just to keep Celedor on his toes and try and stop the once the legendaries start coming out for Control Warrior. He just wants to keep up that momentum.
But like this point on, would you actually say that Celedor is slowly going to be able to make his comeback? Because looking at his hand, it seems pretty insane right now.
Well, that's the strength of a Control Warrior. He can just start pumping out threats one after the other in the late game. So, and we are hitting that late game right now. So let's see how he decides to play this. I think Celedor still has a good chance of coming back, especially given Wensushi's hand right now.
Mm-hmm. Do you think he should actually decide to... He's going to Kultas the Acolyte Pain. Let's see what card exactly he's going to be able to get here. Ooh, yeah, that's a pretty good one. That's the riskiest card, I have to say, that Celedor always likes to play. But Wensushi, that top deck, he's going to go ahead with the Ysera Dream. And now the 4-5, deciding as to who to kill off here. Just going to go ahead and deal with the Acolyte Pain, I guess. Another card draw going to be in favor there for Celedor. But that actually is a pretty good one for Celedor, because that will be able to effectively deal with Ysera. So let's see what Celedor is going to do here. Now, what do you think he should actually go for?
I think he should start putting down a defense. Ysera is going to be pretty difficult for him to remove. So I think he should put down some threats fast, because once the dream cards start coming in, it might be a little difficult for him.
Mm-hmm. Now, he does have that, you know, that whirlwind, that execute. So that's always a really good way to get rid of Ysera. He's going to, in fact, just use his whirlwind right there. Frothing Berserker is going to definitely get buffed up. Look at that beefy 6-3 on the board right now. He's going to armor up. He's going to go ahead and execute Ysera there. So Ysera, unfortunately, not going to be living for another dream. Instantly goes down. That's a 8-3 on the board. Now, that does get dealt with things by Wrap. But Wensushi, unfortunately, doesn't have it just yet. So let's just see how this is going to turn out. Wensushi actually getting a Gadgetson Auctioneer. Now he does have the ability to go ahead and get some card draw. A lot of spells in hand. So one swipe actually going to be used right there. Onto the Frothing Berserker. It goes down. And unfortunately, he just draws another swipe, so doesn't really have much of a play.
That's not very fortunate, but at least he does have those spells in hand, as you said. Could give him some card draw. But right now, ball's in Celedor's court. Let's see if he can start putting down some threats. How's his hand looking at the moment in regards to a late game threat?
Oh, it's crazy. I mean, he has the Garrosh and the Cruel Taskmaster combo. He's got
Ooh.
that Ragnaros, the Fury, Depths of Hell, and as well as his own Ysera, the Golden Ysera added as well. So I think Celedor is pretty much happy with his current position. He's gonna go ahead, get rid of the gadgets, and throws down his own Ysera. What dream card is he gonna get? He is actually gonna get an Emerald Drake. So I guess that's still a very good card. Seeing as though he does, I mean, he does have a couple. In fact, every single card right there is a minion, but. See what MOL is gonna go for. Yep. There we go. Ragnaros, Big Daddy's coming out. Swipe, in fact, gonna make an appearance. Is Ragnaros gonna hit Ysera? It does get hit. RNG in his favor. Wow.
A sniper from hell himself, Ragnaros.
Yep.
And we have a well played from Celedor, knowing that was a great play.
Yeah, I think that Ragnaros is kind of angry right now. You don't want to really mess with him right there. So really well played by him. Was able to juggle and get the RNG against the Ysera. So Ysera, unfortunately, not going to make it in his own pierce. Now, question is, Celedor, does he want to be risky as well and go for the YOLO rag play as well?
That's going to hurt. If he goes for that play, you can see Wensushi's hand right now. He has the exact card to deal with it and keep his sniper in play. So I hope he has an alternative play. I hope he keeps in mind that the Big Game Hunter could still be coming out.
Exactly. Now, the thing is... like, what exactly do you think Celedor should do here? I mean, he doesn't have much of a way to really deal with the 8/8 right now, unless he decides to just, get rid of Garrosh entirely. But I don't know. Do you think
I think personally, I would just YOLO Garrosh and get rid of Ragnaros.
Because weapon in hand as well.
Oh my gosh, it's tricky. It's tricky. I don't know how I would play it. Maybe just YOLO Rag as well.
Oh man, but we've seen games where Celedor did try the YOLO Rag and unfortunately it wasn't enough. So I think he's really deciding what he wants to do here. It seems like that Rag play is thinking about it. I mean, would you even just say like you'd go for like an Acolyte of Pain into Frothing onto, I mean not Frothing, the Cruel Task onto the Acolyte? Get some card draw?
Could be, but that's gonna put him. Let's see. I'm not. I think.
Okay. So he's gonna go ahead and just use Garrosh. Yeah. Gets rid of Garrosh. Well, I think here it's probably the best way. I mean, Wensushi is down to only 3 cards right now. Ooh, and that's also not a card he wants.
Oh, that was crucial. So that was actually the correct play. Getting rid of the threat, and that. If Rag was still in play when that Mark of the Wild comes down, then that would have been very deadly.
Yep. Now, question: do we go with the Ragnaros or do we go with the Baron?
I think Baron. I'm really scared of that. Here we go.
Yeah, he's going to Emerald Drake and Acolyte Pain instead, so just opting to put more pressure on the board against the Druid. I mean, the Druid doesn't necessarily have anything right there. Oh, but that's a great top deck. The Ancient of Lore makes his appearance, and I think that is Wensushi's saving grace here. Let's see what cards he's going to get. A Healing Touch. Now, that's always helpful, but not this early. And Alex Straza, yeah, that's not really going to do anything. The Big Game Hunter, is unfortunately going to be getting rid of this Emerald Drake, but we all know what that's actually going to signal to Celedor. And look at that extra card.
I'm so excited. Here it comes.
Come on. Well, I mean, he like right now he has 3 legendaries in hand. He's got the Harrison Jones, he's got the Baron Geddon, and he does as well have the the Ragnaros there now. It's kind of difficult. He's thinking of going for a bit of a card draw here. By ramming that Acolyte Pain into the what do you call this, the Ancient of Lore, which he's in fact going to do. He's going to lose the Acolyte Pain completely. He gets a Shield Slam, so that's a good way for him to kind of deal with the the aggression there. But it seems he's going to go with Baron Get instead. I mean, it does get rid of all the minions to board, so it seems like that's his best play here. Dealing with everything, putting a big beefy creature on the board that's gonna constantly deal 2 damage every turn. But the thing is, he is fighting from behind, but he can always armor up. So I guess that's something that he has to kind of help him here.
That's been a great sequence of plays, very exciting. So now he chooses to use Alex Straza to drop down Celedor to 15 health, and he's gonna think about what That's an 8-8. So let's see how Celedor deals with Alexstrasza at the moment. And I really think he's thinking about keeping Ragnaros and keeping him as a finisher just to go out in style, I think.
I guess. Well, I mean, he just did get a Sylvanas as his recent draw, but uh, I don't know. Do you think there is kind of a way for him? Is he going to be forced to just use Baron get and run it into the 8-8 and use the weapon as himself, and then maybe even throw, or just YOLO rag it up? I mean, rag will eventually die in 4 turns. Unless, of course, the druid has something to kind of clear it off himself. So, do you think this is the time for that rag? Do you think it's time for... I mean, unfortunately, he is 1 damage off from just completely dealing with Alexstrasza and still keeping... Well, I mean, he can just attack Shield Sam now and just have the the effect from Baron Geddon to get rid of Alexstrasza.
Yeah, I think that's what he's thinking about also, just to make sure that the Sushi doesn't have any options on the board.
Wait.
And
wait, I want to ask you actually, Shield Sam can be used on your own minions, right?
I was actually gonna ask if that was actually possible, because that's exactly the play I was thinking of.
Yeah.
If he had 1 more armor to shield slam his own Sylvanas, I would have dealt with it perfectly.
Well, I mean, either way, it's like as long as he threw down Sylvanas and shield slammed it, the Baron Geddon effect would kill him off, right? So he would actually steal Alexstrasza. So I'm not too sure of the specifics there, but yeah, I think that was definitely a possible play there. So Druid of Claw actually going to be making his appearance here. That's a beefy 4-6 that's not really going to die to Harrison Jones. Now, he does, of course, have a weapon in hand, so he can still get rid of that. So, Celedor here. Choices. I mean, he does have... Okay, he gets a slam. Now, he can opt for more card draw and hopefully be able to get something that can, boost him back a bit here. He gets an Armor Spiff. Probably not the best card right now.
Yeah, that could have come in handy much earlier. And just giving him a nice armor lead.
But look at that, man. The depths of hell. Unleashing the Ragnaros, dealing 8 damage to the face right there. Wensushi now feeling the pressure from Ragnaros here. And, we're going to see... Yeah.
That Ragnaros is made in the Philippines, man. That's a pretty good one.
Exactly. So, right here, Wensushi is actually going to go ahead and use... And actually opt, for the damage from the Keeper of the Grove onto the face of Celedor there. Just trying to put a bit of pressure. Yes, it's sitting behind that taunt. I mean, there's 2 minions right now that Ragnaros has to kind of pick and choose. Ooh, Celedor actually gets a Gora Howl there, but he's gonna lose a charge on the free fight. I mean, the 3-1 right now. But I guess that's probably his best option. Or do you think he should just go ahead with Armor Smith and Sylvanas?
I'd want to see Celedor removing the threats and then just start letting Ragnaros do his thing.
Yep.
He still has the option to armor up after all, after the casting Gore Howl, so...
Wow. RNG again. Kills off the minion. This is looking really good for Celedor so far in terms of his rag play. But, again, another top deck there from Wensushi. He gets the second Ancient of Lore. Gonna go for card draw, gets the face. Oh, that's a good one. Oh, and an Innervate. That's an instant faceless manipulator copy.
Gosh.
Are we gonna see the rag? 50-50. Here we go. Oh, he gets the RNG. What a way to finish Ragnaros off.
Oh, that's disappointing for Celedor. Oh my gosh, that sequence.
Oh,
that is heartbreaking. Getting Innervate right along with the faceless. But here comes Sylvanas now to see if she can take back another Ragnaros to keep the Lord of Hell in play, basically.
Oh, actually, would you run yourself into Ragnaros and execute it, or do you think just leaving Sylvanas on the board? I mean, because Ragnaros can't really attack. So
tricky. Given Celedor's health, that's a little bit tricky to ask him to run into a 6. To take 8 damage to the face. Taste
that Fury Depths of Hell. But it's going to go for the tree right there. Get a little bit of tree bark action. Going to toss down his own Armor Smith now. He should have actually just... Should he have just thrown that? Okay, well, let's see what's going to happen here. Wensushi, whoa, he gets a pretty good one as well. He does have scenarios here. He does have the Nightmare as well. So that's another, he has a lot of buffs right now, and he still has heals. So I mean, Wensushi right now is definitely in a really good spot. He's gonna go ahead. Oh, okay. What is he thinking right now? What do you think is the best play here for Wensushi? It's just scenarios.
I think just scenarios to keep the defense up, because as you can see, Celedor only has 1 card left. so he doesn't have many options at this point to make a comeback. That
Oh, okay. It goes to the face.
ooh, that's very scary.
That was kind of scary though, because if that did hit Sylvanas, we might have been seeing a Ragnaros on the other side of the battlefield. So
Yeah.
that was very, very risky indeed. Now, Celedor, though, he gets his own Faceless Manipulator, so he can definitely use that if he wants to. And he has Execute as well. Still has a weapon. But it's looking pretty difficult because he has to find a way to kind of break through against this Ragnaros right now. You think he should just go ahead? I mean, like just, faces the Ragnaros?
I think, well, he's not. He's pretty much out of options at the moment. I think facelessing the Ragnar's. It's the problem here right now is since Sushi got the taunts, he could have run Sylvanas into the Ragnaros and taken either Ragnaros or Scenarios and then faceless some whatever he was lacking. But at the moment, I think he's gonna go with the. Oh, he's gonna take it. Oh, so many Ragnaroses in this game.
All right, so he's gonna execute the 2-1, 5-5 towards Ragnaros. What is he gonna get? He gets. Oh, he gets Rag. Now is it okay? That's unfortunate. Is it gonna hit? Oh my God, Ragnaros! Oh my God, that is crazy. Well, I mean,
Oh my
if you think about it, he does have 2 rags on the board, so. Wow, that was a really great play there by Celedor.
Oh
Very,
my
very risky actually.
gosh.
Super risky, but it does pay off. Now, there is really no way for Wensushi to hit this fight. Now, essentially, there is no minions on the board, and the warrior can just constantly keep placing armor. So he's effectively, in a way, healing himself. So
Yes, that's right.
Celedor, I mean, he's in a good spot. Raph is probably going to be coming out to definitely address one of these, these crazy Ragnaros right here. It's so angry Ragnaros.
So angry. He just won't stay down. He just has to stay and play. So we're
Oh,
nearing.
he
Oh my
gets through it, of course.
gosh.
And my friends, that is game nightmare. Top deck on that Shred of the Claw, and that is gonna be game. Ladies and gentlemen, that is a crazy way for Celedor to actually lose against Wensushi. And guys, that was just the first game. That was just the first game in this best out of 5. And my friends, I don't know.
Oh my-
This is looking super exciting right now. What did you say, Katips?
Oh my gosh, that was. I can't even believe those last 5 turns.
I know.
We saw the Ragnaros wouldn't stay down. Sylvanas taking Ragnaros also. Oh, the faceless. It's. Oh my gosh. And then that last top deck. He
Yeah.
could not have asked for a better card. Oh my goodness.
I mean, it was so close there. Had he stolen what was it, the 5-8, the scenarios,
Scenarios, yeah.
it would have been so much more bad for what do you call this, for Celedor. But he got every single RNG homing rockets onto the faces of all the minions, but still not enough. Top deck City, top deck
my
Stone.
gosh.
Final showing here. Wensushi showing why he is the Prince of RNG. Gets that top deck and the Druid of Claw. He had the Nightmare in hand the whole time. So guys,
Yeah,
let's jump to game number 2. Yeah, you say?
Yeah, and that Nightmare was in his hand for a long time. That
Yep.
Nightmare was what, six turns ago? That was.
Yeah, I mean, it was like forever.
Yeah.
And that was the only card that he got out of Ysera. So I don't know, man. That was a crazy,
Oh
crazy
my
first,
God.
and that's just the first game, man. I definitely
Oh.
can expect. I think we can definitely expect for much more of a crazier show. So let's go ahead and jump into the second game here. This game number 2, this best out of 5, and I think it's gonna be a pretty interesting one. Now, okay, we did see that the Druid there from Wensushi definitely was very strong. He got all the trust. He got his Ancient of Floors whenever he needed to make the comeback. He got the RNG onto the Druid of the Claw against the power there from the Control Warrior. Now, I kind of want to personally ask you, do you think that the Control Warrior is one of the strongest decks coming out from Celedor?
I think it might have been. I think he was counting on dominating with the Control Warrior because it is one of the strongest decks in the meta right now. As you can see, my gosh, so many threats. He has a ways of dealing with the early game with the Warrior spells. He has a gigantic late game. It's just that, oh my gosh, that was crazy RNG on both of their sides. You could not have predicted the ending to that one.
I know. I think that was definitely nail biter galore. Like that was just really down to the wire, top deck and RNG. But we are here in game number 2 out of this best out of 5. Of course, Wensushi one game up with his druid. He's gonna be forced to stick with his druid here, and it's gonna be against Celedor. So Celedor opting to go for the warlock here, and just looking from that starting hand, I think we all know what's probably gonna be coming out of the jungle. Well, not really jungle. It is that zoo. So yeah, Wensushi's gonna be faced here against Celedor. Celedor has a lot of one drops. Now the thing is, what does he choose? He has 2 Void Walkers, Argent Square, and the Shield Bearer, but he's just gonna go with his Argent Square first here. And Wensushi right now, he does have the coin, not necessarily needs to use it. Just gonna go ahead and end this turn there. Celedor, turn 2. Definitely is going to be able to play double taunts here. Going to go with the double Void Walker, so that's essentially small minions, but it definitely helps towards the later game for Celedor here. So the zoo looking pretty strong. The wall is set up right now.
That's right. And what I'm really interested in right now is Wensushi's hand. He has 2 Tazdingos in his hand, which is gonna give him nice defense towards turn 4, towards turn 5, and give him the and he has both swipes also. You cannot have asked for better cards against Zoo at the moment.
Yeah, definitely. Now he. Oh, it's just pretty interesting. So Celedor actually, I think, is one of the players that I know that actually runs the Elven Archer. That's a card we haven't seen in a pretty long time. Now, we kind of want to get your take on that card here in this Zoo deck, though.
Yeah, so when I run Zoo, I actually don't run it because I myself am not adept at using the Elven Archer. I believe it's used to start pinging off some threats. It's also it's used to ping stuff like Argent Squire just to make sure that enemies don't have start building defense with divine shields and stuff like that.
For sure. So Celedor here just taps, goes for face, ends the turn. Wensushi, he does have an Innervate here, but he's just gonna go ahead and coin out the taunt. Really nothing else to innervate out. Not like he wants to use the Black Knight anytime soon. He's just gonna go ahead and throw down that Tazdingo, the Ascension Shield Master, and now Celedor, he actually gets a pretty decent card there, which is the Young Priestess.
Yep. So that's gonna start creating headaches for Sushi because once the Priestess comes out, starts buffing the Taunters, it's gonna build him a nice defense.
Would you actually play the Priestess before using Soulfire? Oh, he loses one of his major Zoo deck cards, and that is the what do you call it? I completely forgot the name of that.
The Doom Guard.
The Doom Guard, exactly.
Yeah, that's right.
That's pretty sad to see. He loses a huge chunk of damage. Like, look at his board right now. It's all 1 damage.
Yeah.
I mean, it's damage nonetheless. It counts for sure. It's a slow but steady battle. Sorry, coming up for Celedor. So seems like he's just gonna go ahead and toss out the shield. I don't know. Would you just toss out the Young Priestess this point in, or he's just afraid of things like swipe coming out right now?
Yeah, that's a lot of 1 health creatures on the board. Getting a lot of that could be a huge value for Wensushi if he decides to use the swipe.
And speaking of Wensushi, I mean, he does have double swipe in his hand. He even gets the gadgets in the auctioneer. Now he's gonna go ahead and toss out the other Tazingo there. So another Ascension Shield Master making his appearance. Celedor, he does get the Dire Wolf Alpha there, but I'm not so sure exactly how that's actually going to be able to fare against.
Yeah, his minions are so weak at the moment in terms of strength. So Direwolf isn't going to give him the best value to get past the Tazdingo. So let's see how he decides to get past the taunt threat.
Yeah, because
Would be nice.
Yeah, I mean, essentially here he's going to be forced to like waste essentially like 3 minions at most. So
yeah.
Oh,
he chooses to put it in between the taunters.
Yep. I guess so that it can just die and, it just translates to the next person, which is that other Void Walkers or Void.
Yeah, that's right.
So, well,
see, this is exactly when he'd want another Elven Archer just to ping that.
out.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, he just uses the Elven Archer and just rams her in there anyways, so just gonna deal with that effectively. Give 2 damage to the face. Thinking of tapping first here. This point in time, we get a Knife Trigger. Unfortunately, he just can't play it this turn yet. And again, just opting not to go for the Young Priestess. He's thinking of it. Now, we all know what's in the hand for Wensushi, and that's just probably going to be an instant swipe.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
So, ends a turn. What value is it going to be on? It's on the Void Walker. It's on the Void Walker. But the thing is, I think that just means it prioritizes that the Void Walker is going to get hit right now. But look at
Oh my
that.
gosh.
There
The
is that
Miracle
swipe.
Rogue
Yeah.
gets the value swipe with Blood Mage Thalnos. He could effectively take out most of this board at the moment. So he chooses first to use his Keeper of the Grove to take out to deal 2 damage, I guess, to the wolf. Yep, that's what he does.
Yep. Which is, I guess, is fine here because it really reduces a lot of the damage coming up from Celedor's minions, and I guess it sets him up for a better swipe play. Plus, he has a minion on the board as well. That's probably not gonna die unless Celedor's just thinking of basically trading everything against this Keeper of the Grove. Now he does, of course, have a what do you call this? A Dark Iron Dwarf in hand, which you can always use to kind of get rid of the 2/4, but that just means he's gonna have to sack his own Young Priestess, and he probably doesn't want to do that this early on in this game. So
Yep. And I think what Wensushi is counting on is for Celedor to overcommit just to get the most value out of his swipe.
So he's gonna go ahead, play down the Knife Juggler, and he's in fact gonna go ahead and buff up the Archon Squire here. I guess he was hoping for the dagger to hit the 2/4. Fortunately, he doesn't get it. He's in fact even gonna trade the Archon Squire there. Well, I mean, she's lived long enough, and again, the buff goes onto the Void Walker there. So I think this is pretty simple swipe onto the 4/4. The Dark Iron Dwarf gonna go down. Young Priestess gets a lot of value. Left only with a 1/1 minion on the board. Now that's pretty sad. Pretty sad.
Something that he can just start using his hero power to get rid of, and then start building his board with Gadgets and Auctioneer and Wild Growth for the next turn.
So Celedor here has an option. He does have an Archon Square. He even has the Flame Imper there. Personally, would you want to Defend of Argus the Archon Squire so that there's a bubble as well, or do you think just Defend of Argus in between the Shield Bearer and okay, well he's gonna go with the Shield Bearer as well as the Void Walker. Do you kind of agree with that play, or do you think he could have actually just used it with the Archon Squire because of that shield?
I think I would have gone with this same play just to have a decent amount of defense, because right now Zoo is winding down, and he also lost one of his Doom Guards also. So he's now gonna start relying on what threats he can do. He can top deck and see if he can finish off. That's still 16 health, and of course Wensushi still. We know from the first game that he has Healing Touch. He can use a lot of ways to heal himself and get back into the game basically, and just make sure that Celedor uses up his hand, uses up his board, and then dominate in the late game.
Well, I'm guessing this is warranting another swipe. Is he thinking about a swipe here? I mean, it's only gonna actually kill one minion because he doesn't have his spell damage anymore. He does opt to go with the swipe though. So Celedor, I'm pretty sure knows that there's no more swipe. But look at that. That's a pretty interesting card. That's the King Mukla. But I think that's probably not the best card to toss out right now, especially with the bananas on top of the gadgets, and I don't think you really want to be giving that away towards your opponent there.
Yeah, Mukla in a Zoo deck is usually reserved for the early game just to get the momentum going, just to get the damage in there. But in the late game against the Druid especially, do you really want to start giving bananas when Karen comes out, when Ragnaros comes out, when all of these big threats are coming out and then become unstoppable basically if you put bananas in them?
Exactly. Plus, he has that Gadgetson on the board, and it's just gonna give him card draw after card draw. So
yeah, that's right.
It's pretty
Bananas
difficult.
are spells.
Exactly.
Very tasty spells.
Tasty spells indeed. Very, very interesting take there by by Blizzard for sure. So Celedor is actually gonna go ahead and toss 2 minions right into the face there of the Gadgetson. Gonna go ahead with the Archon Squire play and is gonna taunt this up. So the second Defender of Argus is gonna make his appearance, and essentially, I guess you could say that is kind of sitting behind free taunts because of that shield essentially. But Black Knight value, Allura Man make his entrance, and he's gonna get value for Wensushi there. And Wensushi, in fact, gonna go ahead and toss out Mark of the Wild onto the Black Knight, and Black Knight himself is really a knight now because he's wielding that taunt. That shield.
Right.
Oh, tap into a Doom Guard there. So it seems like he's. I don't know. Would you just forsake King Mukla, just toss him out there and not even play him at all?
Oh, that's such a scary play, because look at Wensushi's hand right now. He has all of the options on. If you put bananas in Karen, that's gonna be
Yep.
Don't feed the cows bananas, kids. It's very
Exactly.
deadly.
Very deadly indeed.
They get very angry.
Well, I mean, I guess this puts Celedor in a pretty interesting situation because, the Druid is essentially down to 12 life now. And he's already used up both swipes, which we did see. So that Doom Guard is going to practically be surviving for the time being. I don't think... has Wensushi used a single Wrath yet? Oh, he gets a top deck on a Wrath. So that's a really good one. He's going to get rid of this 5-1. Wensushi, man, really Prince of RNG. He's gonna get an Ancient of Lore on top of that, so he's gonna get even much more card draw. It's just card draw.
Oh my gosh.
It's the card draw game, and look at this, Celedor.
The
Really
Miracle Rogue.
Yeah, so-called Miracle Rogue. I mean,
Miracle Druid now.
Yeah. It's definitely working out. I mean, Wensushi is in a really good position. Look at the amount of cards he has in hand, and all good valued minions there. Celedor, unfortunately, looks pretty rough for him.
Yeah, so all Wensushi needs to do right now is start putting threats, not overcommit, and just make sure that he gets solid damage in. If this were Season 1 Dark Iron Dwarf, that would have been very problematic. But unfortunately, that only lasts until end of turn. So now it's all in Wensushi's hands. Even at 7 health, I think he has a good chance. I think his best option right now would be maybe to put down scenarios just to put threat. I mean, just to put some taunts down, just to stop that. Those pretty beefy minions at the moment.
Do you think that, or Druid of the Claw, do you think is an option, or just instantly with the double taunts? Because I mean, it is double taunts, so.
Yeah, that's right.
And he's gonna eventually have to run both his 3/2 and his 4/4 into the taunts if he wants to get rid of, because that shield bearer is just not gonna be dealing with the those trees, those trees that just don't want to be uprooted.
I think that's the best play for Sushi as well, because if he played a single taunt, he could have removed it and had a Leroy play. He might still be running Leroy. Maybe that's what Sushi was thinking about, and putting down 2 taunts instead of 1. So.
Well, I mean, I think it's looking pretty grim right now for Celedor. The dagger, in fact, hits scenarios there, so I think we all know what's gonna happen next. This is probably gonna be a second game going to Wensushi here. I don't really see a way for Celedor to come out of it, because it's just really tough. I mean, what's he really gonna do here? He's actually going to go ahead and toss his Ancient of Lore into that. Druid of the Claw, make it into the cat farm, and there we go. That's going to be the second game going into favor of Wensushi against Celedor there. I mean, Celedor, man, he just tried hard, and unfortunately Zoo completely ran out of steam. And I guess, would you chalk it up to a bit of the fact that he did lose that first very crucial Doom Guard?
That was very crucial, and also the fact that he got King Mukla so late. If he had retained both of those threats, that would have been pretty good in his favor, because he did get Sushi down to 6 health, so could have been the swing in his favor.
Yep, definitely. It seems like we're about to probably jump into game number 3, but before then, I'm just gonna take a little bit break here to again, for those of you guys just tuning in, just let you know exactly what this event is. This is the eHL Season 1 Road to Northrend as the eGTV Hearthstone League. And I think we're probably going to be doing a quick giveaway here. So yeah, do stay tuned, and it's going to be a pretty interesting one for sure. Of course, this giveaway is for those of you guys on stream. And as you can see, we're going to just jump right into it. So let me just break it down for you guys in case you have problems reading what's on stream. Basically, it's very simple. You're going to go ahead, you're going to listen to a little bit of a sound clip of, a battle cry or of something of that sort from one of the cards in Hearthstone. All you're going to need to do is just guess what card it is. And in the chat right there, that's the right-hand side of the Twitch, you're going to want to type in exclamation mark. Actually, you're just going to go ahead and want to type out what you think the card is going to be to have a chance at, winning the giveaway.
The Brotherhood shall prevail. The Brotherhood shall prevail.
All right there. So for you guys who that just did hear that, again, That was the card that you guys are gonna have to guess. As you heard there, the Brotherhood shall prevail. I don't do the best impersonation, but of course, go ahead and take a chance to see what you're gonna go ahead and if you're gonna be able to win this giveaway. And by the way, the the giveaway is gonna be a $5 MOL Points. So yeah, if you want to have a chance at that, go ahead, put in what you think that sound of the card is, and
The Brotherhood shall prevail.
there you go again.
The Brotherhood shall prevail.
What card do you guys think it's gonna be? Go ahead and just lock
Start
it.
start googling.
Start googling. Yeah, start googling. Search whatever you can.
I don't even know what it is. I'll try looking it up myself.
Oh, Katips, you disappoint.
Oh man, I don't know
The
voices.
Brotherhood shall prevail. I think that's a pretty good one that a lot of people probably should know. Not gonna give out any hints because it's honestly it's quite easy to actually know these cards. So yeah, go ahead, lock in your votes before we jump into the next game because let's take a little bit of a filler here. Let the players take a little bit of a breather, so to speak. Anyways, again, if you guys want to hear what the sound is, it's if you heard it before, it's again the Brotherhood will prevail. So go ahead and try to guess what that is gonna be in the chat right now.
Okay, I know what it is.
Yeah, you know what it is. Well,
and I don't run this card, that's why I don't know what it is. But yes, it is a very no clues.
No clues. Exactly.
Good luck to everybody.
Exactly, no clues at all. You definitely do not want to give it out. So, anyways, guys, again, if you want to hear, if you missed it, we're gonna play it again here right now.
The Brotherhood shall prevail. The Brotherhood shall prevail. The Brotherhood shall prevail.
All right, there you go. So the Brotherhood shall prevail. Now, we played it 3 times again. For those of you that kind of missed it out over there, hopefully you will be able to prevail in this giveaway. So go ahead and type it in the chat right there if you want to have a chance of winning that, that little gift. That little 5 points. I mean, it's not little. It always definitely translates. 5 SGD MOL Points. Alright, so for those of you who are still wondering what that sound is, we are finally going to unveil the secretive card, and that card is Edwin Van Cleef. So for those of you that guessed correctly, we'll be contacting the winner and we'll be passing to you the giveaway prize of 5 SGD MOL Points. So sponsored by MOL Points, by the way. So for those of you that want it, congratulations, and stay tuned for our message to let you know how to redeem your prizes. And at the same time, at the end of the series, we'll let you know exactly who has won the giveaways, just to kind of give a little bit of flavor there. Hopefully, you guys will be happy with the giveaways so far. Anyway, guys, hopefully you are prepared because that little break there is gonna bring us here towards the third game here in this best out of 5, and what could possibly be the final of the series. Are we gonna see another clean sweep here, or are we gonna be seeing Celedor be making his comeback? That is only gonna have to be seen as the matches progress. So, guys, are you ready? Katips, are you ready?
Ready.
Alright, so let's just get this underway, and hopefully we're gonna see a pretty good one This is, again, I'm going to reiterate, this is the best out of 5 series here. The second match, we did witness the first best out of 5 series. That was Korea versus WinSushi, sorry. Korea versus Arto. And unfortunately, Arto did lose that 3-0 there against the so self-proclaimed King Korea there. And here we are in this best out of 5. This is game number 3. WinSushi versus Celedor. WinSushi, his druid, just busting out the chops. And it's going to be Celedor bringing his own druid here. The mirror matchup. What is going to be happening here in this game?
Oh, very exciting. I'm disappointed in two things. I'm disappointed that Celedor is losing, and I'm also disappointed that I'm not getting to see the Miracle Rogue of Sushi. So,
yeah.
But this is going to be a pretty hype game. Possibly Control versus Control. Potentially Token Druid from Celedor, which is pretty popular these days also. But Druid versus Druid, a battle of control, battle of resources, and see who can put down the best threats and get the most value from their cards.
Definitely. Anyways, again, whoa, look at this. WinSushi going with that Innervate play into the Nourish. So getting that huge early advantage in terms of mana. That is pretty interesting. That is crazy. Look at... I don't know. What do you think about that?
Oh my gosh. That's a big advantage, to be honest. So he did use up a number of cards to get there, but that's a pretty sizable advantage for him at the moment. But here comes the Value Yeti.
Yep, Value Yeti is in fact going to make his appearance here. But unfortunately though, WinSushi doesn't really have anything to deal with this. It doesn't have the beefiest or the best minions to use. He's just going to go ahead, it seems, with the Keeper of the Grove into the 2 damage onto the Yeti right there, bringing it down to 3 life. Now that always can be dealt with hero power and the Keeper of the Grove, unless he essentially wants to use the second Keeper of Grove there by WinSushi. But looking at the hand of Celedor though, he does have a couple of options. He did get that Power of the Wild there. Do you think he should actually use that this early on, or just continue his own sort of aggression? I mean, he does have a Wrath. He can always use hero power on top of that. So what do you think is his play here?
I think I'd want him to clear the board and use the play that you said, using a Wrath and then hero power, and just keeping the Yeti in play as much as possible, because WinSushi has already used 1 card. If he kills this Keeper of the Grove, he's going to be forced to use another card, and it's not even going to kill Yeti. So it's a good advantage, I think, to keep the Yeti in play still and take out the Keeper of the Grove instead.
All right, interesting insight there. So whether or not Celedor is going to be able to pick up on that, we're just going to have to wait and see. But it seems like he's still taking some time to decide exactly what he wants to do. I mean, he could always just run the Yeti into the 4-2, but that just leaves it as a 1. It just leaves him at 1 life, and that just easily dies to hero power or any other spell. So it seems he's going to go ahead with the Wrath here. He's going to go for the 3 damage, it seems, plus the hero power. Yep, so gonna go with the play intended as we mentioned early on. Wrath into the hero power, and 4 damage to the face by the Yeti, and just gonna end the turn here. So Celedor just choosing to play it a little bit more safe and, calm and collected. Just play it a little bit slow for sure. And now WinSushi though, turn 6, doesn't really have a play. Oh, he gets one there. Now that's a good one. But I think he's probably gonna go, with the Keeper of the Grove plus his hero power, instantly dealing with the imminent threat on the board there.
That's a lot of value that he got from the Yeti. That's 3 plays essentially to deal with 1 Yeti. So I think he got decent value. So he can start putting down some of his mid-range threats right now. But Sushi does have some good cards in hand. Those are some pretty big dragons he has in there, and he can just put down some a taunt threat and wait it out just to make the dragons come out.
Yeah, I mean, it's waiting. I mean, they're just waiting right there. One is just waiting to dream, the other one just waiting to burn you alive. So, I mean, WinSushi, he does have a couple of plays. He's going to actually go with the Druid of the Claw here into the charge farm, actually. Not even going to opt to go for the bear farm. Just wants to make sure that the board is clear. He gets essentially 6 damage on the board, but unfortunately, you have to remember, this sets him up for a swipe play. Most probably here, coming out from Celedor.
Yeah, that's right. So that's a bit of a risk, I think, for using the charge form instead of the taunt. But maybe, I don't know, WinSushi has to be somewhere. He's in a rush to finish this game.
Yeah, it seems like he's probably got a date with some sushi. Could be, could be. I know. Okay, that was just a really lame joke. I'll just stop there for today. Oh, really, really try. But yeah, I mean, when sushi here, he is gonna be essentially left with his naked board right now. Gonna go ahead and throw down the gadgets in and heal himself back up. Get a little bit of a card draw. Oh, gets a big game hunter, and that's a really good one against the against druids in general, especially since they play big cards. You never know when Ragnaros is going to be making an appearance. And speaking of Ragnaros, Celedor actually just gets that in hand. Now, he's actually going to go YOLO Rag. All right, here we go.
Oh my god.
Here we go. All right.
No.
Fire from down under. Look at that. Oh, unfortunately, it doesn't actually hit the Gadgetson. So Gadgetson gonna survive. And big game hunter. Look at that.
Oh my gosh, Sushi, the miracle druid, showing
man.
that he has all of the RNG. He laid his offerings to RNGesus and is getting the best possible plays out of his hand right now. That was perfect. He just drew the big game hunter, and Celedor just drew the Ragnaros, and now he has dragons waiting in the wings.
Exactly. But look at this though. Celedor has to play. He is actually going to copy the Gadgeton. He's going to get some card draw out of this as well. Because look at his hand. It's essentially a whole bunch of spells. Now, the question here is, do you want to see him actually kind of like Wrath the 4/4, kill it off, and then just start spamming a whole bunch of like Mark of the Wild onto his own gadgets in there, the copied one?
I think I think he should be keeping in mind that he is running out of cards, and his only way to draw right now is the Auctioneer. So if he starts to run out of card draw, we both know what's in Wensushi's hand, and he might get into a position where he has an advantage, and then Celedor just doesn't have the card draw to catch up. So he has to keep that in mind, that he probably can't overcommit. But it is difficult right now because Wensushi does have 2 creatures with 4 damage on the board. So he chooses to give himself a bit of defense. So let's see how.
Okay, but let me just say first, this is looking pretty scary for I mean, Celedor, he does have his Savage Trees combo already up. Yeah, does have the Savage Rotation. Oh, but the value, Allura Man making his entrance.
Oh my
the
god.
Black Knight making it right here, and I don't know. I give up on Shushi,
You can't make this up. This kind of luck is for grand finals. This is unbelievable.
I know. Like I think Shushi's done his job of praying to the RNGesus the day before the event, and that's just pretty insane. Top deck Stone gets the Black Knight and instantly gets value redeemed back there. Now Celedor though, he does have a couple of options now. He does have Scenarios. He did get Scenarios. He's going to go with the Taunts here. That will probably effectively deal with minions on the board. But look at Wensushi, man. Look at those 2 cards.
Look at that. He
Blood
just
Mage
drew
Paladin.
Blood Mage. He can just go for a swipe play.
Yep.
And oh my gosh, there
And
it goes.
that's game. GG's. Game 3. Going in favor of Wensushi. And holy hell, we are seeing Singaporean domination so far in the scene. Wensushi and Korea, both of them looking so strong. 3-0ing their opponents. I honestly have no clue what to say about that. I mean, what are your thoughts, man, Katips?
Singapore is taking back what's theirs from the Philippine dominance in Cycle 2. So they're coming back with a vengeance. Oh my gosh, 2 3-0s. That is a fantastic series of games. I'm still kind of reeling right now with the miracles I am seeing in RNG land right now.
I know, it's crazy. I mean, you'd think that this kind of RNG would be appearing in his his rogue deck, but boom, there you go. Druid needs an ancient in the floor, gets it. Needs a swipe, gets it. Needs a spell damage, gets it as well. Needs the RNG, doesn't want his, Ragnaros to hit this or that, gets it as well. So, I don't know, man. Like, Wensushi, I think Korea is probably feeling pretty afraid right now because he's going to be having to go against him next later on. So, I mean, both these players, they did show pretty good top decking skills there, top decking wrecking there in their game. So, we're just going to have to wait and see exactly how the next few games are going to progress. But yeah, I mean, we've still got a lot of more Hearthstone to cover.
Yeah.
We're just getting started, and this is
it's only been 2 hours, and we're seeing some of the most amazing games that are worthy of grand finals into themselves. I mean, I'm sorry, Celedor, you tried your best, but you just can't fight luck like that. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I know. It's just pretty crazy. But with that said, and then we will probably be coming towards the the next best out of 5 series. By the way, for those of you that don't know the schedule just yet, that is actually going to be Celedor versus Ardo. So this is, of course, the lower bracket. Both players did simultaneously lose their games against Korea as well as the Wensushi there, and in fact in 3-0 victory. So hopefully they're gonna be able to, you know, build up some sort of power in this within this lower bracket and make their way back up there. And I mean, it's a long and tough journey, but hopefully they're gonna be making it their way there true, because I mean, so far we're just seeing a whole bunch of 3-0s, and hopefully they can be able to make their way back up into this game.
Yes, that's right. So very exciting. Still lots of Hearthstone action ahead. Stick around. We have contests. We have great games. We have a long afternoon of great Hearthstone action ahead of us.
Yep. So anyway, guys, we're gonna be going to a short little break, but before we do that, again, we just like to do a little bit of a shout out to our sponsors, Razers. If you guys want to really boost your game performance and don't want to really deal with lag, you can always go ahead and check out Razer's Game Booster, as it automatically shuts off unnecessary processes and applications to maximize system performance for gaming. So if you want to find out more or download it, you can go ahead and check it out at razorzone.com/gamebooster.